All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where we have some information released or some video released for Gervonta Davis, and it very well could be related to his next fight. At the same time, though, there is more and more people joining the bandwagon to prevent fights from happening because it's not the fight that they might actually want. Fair enough, but at the same time, I'm not going for it. Let's talk about that. All right, welcome back to the channel. Not too long ago, we received information that was all over the internet about Gervonta Davis fighting Lamont Roach next. Many people speculated that that is the fight that's taking place next. There has only been one quasi-denial of it from Kenny Ellis, the trainer of Gervonta Davis. But from what I understand, Lamont Roach has not denied it that I've heard. The PBC that probably wouldn't deny it hasn't said anything. And now we're having tapes released that actually show Gervonta Davis fighting in the amateurs, Lamont Roach. That, in my personal opinion, is a reason that I want to see the fight between Gervonta and Lamont Roach, if it takes place. No doubt about it, I would take other fights before it, but despite what many people are saying and ridiculing Gervonta Davis for, I like the fight very much. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And Barbara D and Matty O, thank you guys so much for your continued support for the channel. And when I say y'all's names, I'm talking about all the people like you out there as well that support the channel. Now, before we get into the video, I also have to do an update. This and this, for the people that are familiar with the channel and come by the live stream, this is an WBC autographed belt by Floyd Mayweather Jr. that I own, and a autographed glove by Tommy Hitman Hearns. So, everybody that comes by the live stream, please remember that the highest bidder or the highest donator to the super chats or cash apps for that particular day or that particular week, in this particular instance, the week, will be the winner of this and have them sent to them. It goes to supporting the channel, and it also goes to supporting amateur boxers, amateur boxing in what we are calling the John Bowie Foundation on the channel, where we are going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to try to turn this into a lot of boxing gloves and a lot of hand wraps for young athletes that do not have the financial wherewithal to get it for themselves. Now, that said, let's get into the big boy, Gervonta Davis. So, Gervonta obviously fought Lamont Roach in the amateurs. Lamont, that makes a lot of sense because Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis are obviously temporaries. You have Lamont Roach, who is from Washington, D.C., and you have Gervonta Davis, who is from Baltimore, which is right up the street from D.C. I had a conversation with Gervonta Davis's trainer, Kenny Ellis. It's on the channel. You guys can go check it out, in which we talked about a lot of different fighters in those particular areas that had fought each other or who knew each other and who he had known and who he had seen come up through the amateurs. I had asked before this conversation came out about what he thought about Lamont Roach versus another 130-pound reigning champion, who is O'Shaquie Foster. According to Kenny Ellis, he said that he would take Raymond Ford. Not Raymond Ford. He reminds me of Raymond Ford. Please forgive me. Lamont Roach. He would give the advantage to Lamont Roach over O'Shaquie Foster. But then we also talked about other fighters in other weight classes like Kenny Sims and just people that are out there that many of the mainstream boxing fans don't really know. Truth be told, there's a lot of boxers that the mainstream boxing fans don't really know, and they don't know how good they are. Lamont Roach, at first glance, seems like somebody that you never heard of before, but he's a 130-pound WBA super champion or WBA champion, reigning. He has fought Gervonta Davis before. He is a very, very solid fighter. And as you can see in this sparring match, at least at that time, it was a competitive sparring match. This guy's a legitimate fighter, man. And I don't think that just because he's not the premier matchup that people want, that people should ignore another opportunity to see a good fight. The style of Lamont Roach will make a fight with Gervonta Davis entertaining because Lamont Roach is coming to fight. Lamont Roach he's not on the back foot. He's not trying to be a defensive wizard. He's not trying to prove that he's got the best defense in the history of the game or of any active fighter right now. Lamont Roach is a strong fighter, big puncher, and he's coming to get you. The combination and the matchup of that fight with Gervonta Davis, I think, would be terrific. Also, if they hold the fight in DC, which was the rumor, I don't know if they're really going to do that or not. But if they do, that is a tremendous fight for that area of the country, for DC, for Maryland, and the fans of Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach in those areas, in New York and in Philadelphia. It's a fight that really does bring a lot of the black fan base together. And Gervonta Davis' fights are going to be exciting. So I like it. I like it a lot. And having seen him in the ring, hey, man, again, it reminds me of another example of when a top pound-for-pound fighter fights somebody that people don't know, who has a history with that top pound-for-pound fighter. Funny things happen. Funny things happen. Please remember, Ryan Garcia had a history of fighting Devin Haney in the amateurs. And when he got in the ring with Devin Haney, he was very familiar with him. And it worked to the benefit of Ryan Garcia. Same thing years ago with Lamont Roach. With Vernon Forrest and Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest fought in the amateurs. Shane Mosley had been beaten by the Viper in the amateurs. And when they fought in the pro, nothing changed. Vernon Forrest was probably not as good a fighter as Shane Mosley. As you look at the totality of the fighters that he fought, he didn't beat people that were as good as the people that Shane Mosley beat, where Shane Mosley beat Oscar De La Hoya, and Vernon Forrest wound up, I do believe, getting stopped or defeated by Ricardo Mayorga, that eventually, years later, Shane Mosley defeated. But it still tells you that this familiarity between fighters is a real thing. And I think it could make it an interesting fight. But more importantly than anything, and I'm going to say this till I'm red in the face, and that's going to take a lot. I just want to see the guy fight this year. Please stop jumping in the middle of fights, complaining and crying about fights that are getting made when we just want fights to get made. Can we please see Gervonta this year? Without y'all nagging and complaining about who he's going to fight because you want him to see fights, you want to see him fight somebody you know full well is not available to fight him just for the sake of nagging and complaining and dragging it down. If you want to do that, man, shut up and watch the DAZN card, man. With Liam Walsh's and all those guys. You got fight cards. If you don't care about seeing the big guys' fights until, you see the exact fight that you want, then, man, spend all your time on the DAZN cards, man, and watch a bunch of fights that you don't want to see, bro. Okay? You know what I mean? Watch a bunch of fights that you don't want to see, a bunch of fighters you will never care about seeing. Personally, I want to see him in the card. I'll complain about the matchup a little bit, okay? Yeah, I don't think it's the top matchup, but it's a good matchup because a matchup is better than no matchup. Please learn the lesson of the career to date of Errol Spence Jr. Sitting around waiting all that time doesn't work. You're going to get caught dry. You're going to get caught rusty. Things are going to happen during those times that you're not in the ring and you're not training. No, Get back in the ring, man. And anybody else talking that nonsense, man, please ignore them and fight Lamont Roach. Pick up a cool couple $1,000,000 on a guarantee, whatever, and keep it pushing, man, because cats are going to go to that fight and they're going to go to the next one too. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.